Tea is an important element of Chinese culture and one still very much relevant amongst the Singapore Chinese community. The first Chinese tea leaves were actually brought over by our forefathers from Fujian, and this consumption pattern led to a blossoming tea trade in olden days Singapore. Though tea can be drunk at nearly all occasions, it still holds a special place in our culture. Tea is served during formal ceremonies such as wedding tea serving ceremony and Chinese festivals like Dragon Boat and Mid-Autumn festivals. Even now or 50 years ago, a cup of tea will still be served when we visit a Chinese family. It is a tradition which will never change. Hi, I'm Vincent Loh and I run Yixing Xuan Teahouse with my daughter Charlene Loh. With a heritage in the tea industry since 1989, we have introduced the art of tea appreciation to more than 100,000 participants. You see so many kinds of tea leaves in the market. However, there's only one tea plant in the world. The name is Camellia sinensis. It was started in China 4,000 years ago. Before China, there was no tea. From one plant, they process it out comes 4 major tea. I have right in front of me, black, green, white, oolong. In other words, any tea you buy from the market, it must fall within one of these 4. Now, we're going to distinguish them from one to the other, okay? So number 1, you look at the color. So black must always be black, green must be green, white must be white, oolong is somewhere in the middle between the green and the black. Now, so what happens if you try to buy a white tea and green tea in the market? Usually, it all comes out black in color. In other words, it's not so good anymore. It tells you tea has deteriorated. So tea will deteriorate over time. So fresh tea, like white and green, must be white and green. Okay. Number 2, we shall look at the shape of the leaves. Now, white tea usually came from one single shoot. Green tea, a shoot and 2 side leaves. Oolong tea, mature leaves. And black tea usually came from the whole plant. So number 3, we shall look at we shall smell it, okay? So the smell of white tea usually will have not much smell because it doesn't go through the fire at all. Green tea, slightly fired. Oolong, partially. And black tea is fully. Finally, you would like to know the taste of each individual tea. White tea usually have not much taste because it doesn't go through the fire at all. Green tea, this particular one called Long Qing, has this dried melon seed taste. And oolong tea, the Tie Guanyin, has this ripe guava fruit taste. Black tea usually don't have any taste at all, and that's why they have to add some oil or scent to it, and therefore you have things like Earl Grey, Lapsang Souchong, English breakfast tea, strawberry lemon tea, lychee tea, they all add scent to it. To appreciate tea, usually you find a Chinese tea set right in front of me. The most important part of this tea equipment is what we call the teapot. 紫砂 purple sand teapot. It is found in a place called Yixing. Now, the single most important factor about this teapot, it is very porous. In other words, it has holes inside this clay. You cannot wash it with soap. Soap gets in, soap will also come out, and that's the end of the teapot. So if you cannot wash with soap, you'll see that a thin layer of this essence of platina, it gets thicker and thicker by the day. Your tea will get better and better by the day. They say it comes a time there's no need for you to put tea leaves anymore. In front of me, you see a set of cups, one tall and one short. Okay, the tall one, we call it a fragrance cup, in short, a sniffer. This cup is long because it enables the smell to be trapped inside and travels up slowly. Where you can see the color, you can enjoy the smell, you get the sensation. You cannot drink from this cup because it will touch your nose. You will only pour the tea into this cup and you drink from this cup. You cannot drink from this because it will touch your nose. Now this is what we call the tea sea, where all the wastewater gets collected into it. We call this a fair cup or an equity cup. Now, when you make tea, you pour into this jug and you serve it this way. Each person will have a fair, the tea comes out fair, same color, same taste, and same smell. Or you can also make tea directly from here and pour into the cups as well. Now I have here three pieces of equipment where it enables you to help you to make tea. This is what we call a tea scoop, where we scoop the tea leaves into the teapot. This one we have two ends, one sharp end and one flattish. This enables you to take out the leaves at the end of it. When you get choked, sometimes you create front and back this way. The tweezers enable you to pick up the cup this way. You will not burn your hand. For hygienic purposes, you dump all the wastewater into the sea. Now, this teapot actually serves 4 cups of tea, but you can go on 7 times, and I'm going to get 28 cups of tea. This will be the plate where you will put your tea cup and your fragrance cup, and that's how you serve your tea. To make a good cup of tea the traditional way, you go through these steps, okay? Number 1, you warm your tea cups and teapot this way. The warm water cleans the cup, it warms the cup, and it brings out the smells of the tea. This is basic, most people got it right. Unfortunately, some of the other practices like adding milk and sugar to tea is all completely wrong, because researchers tell us so. Milk and sugar nullifies the goodness of tea. Step number 2, we shall dispense the tea leaves into the teapot. They usually ask how much tea leaves you want to put in the teapot. Usually you put either fill up the base or about 1/3 the size of the teapot, and then you will add water to it. Now, usually we will not drink the first round. The simple reason being this: they use hands to pick leaves, to roll leaves, to separate the good leaves from the broken leaves. So it's a good practice not to drink the first cup of tea. Use the water to rinse the cup. It also generates smells amongst your friends. Okay. You pick up the cup this way, it goes into the ocean. The third step is your first pot of tea. And usually you can go up to about 7 times. Good tea leaves usually gives you about 7 brew. Now the steeping time varies from person to person, from 30 seconds to 1 minute. If you love very strong tea, maybe you want to go up to 1 minute, otherwise keep it to about 30 seconds. So what we do is, this is like the dragonfly hopping the water. You get an even cup this way. Sometimes they go this way. This is finesse. You get an even cup now. Like what I say, this is a 4-cup size teapot. Every cup is equal in strength, in color as well. How do you serve? You put it onto the plate this way. Hold it this way. You smell it. Savor the aroma, the smell, and then the taste. You can see from this fragrance cup, there's some steam coming out. You can smell it again. See the beautiful aroma coming out from this tea. And then take a simple sip like this. If you go for a meeting, you come back, can we still drink this tea? Of course not, because it has been steeping there for too long. Usually, like what I say, we don't usually steep more than 1 minute. So even if it is your second or third cup of tea, you will not drink, because number 1, it is cold, very bitter, and all the poor components in tea also comes out. So you dump it away, although it may be your second or third cup of tea. So the rule of the thumb is to separate the tea from the leaves. Keep this pot dry. Only when you want to drink, then you add hot water, and each time comes out a fresh pot of hot tea.